she might just go out. Whip gon' swing, no tags on it. Head long, so she grab on it. No brakes, on gas on it. Hey, as this go, STPID. We don't need ID. Straight to the VIP. Eyes on you, but the drinks I'm on a mission. Bippin' with no witness. Dippin' with your bitch and 6 friends. Slip and slide, no intermission. Make a quick decision. Watch out before your bitch go missing. Slip and slide.
Listen up. Cartier frames, Cartier on his wrist. Instead of bipping the window, he bipping the bitch. He got oil on his tongue, he talk real slick. He capable of making baby come out her fit. Mac game, ain't he? Dad. He make her apologize every time he go bad. Ain't no simping in the imping, ain't no slacking in the Mac. Take the exit, hit the corner in the traffic kayak. Boots on the ground, scraping the canvas. Sleeves rolled up, hustle unanimous. He take the soil with him. Everywhere he places cup, she gon' choose him. Like a criminal
Let's go
lineup.
STPID. We don't need ID. Straight to the VIP. Eyes on you, but the drinks I'm on.
It ain't regular at all, y'all. What up, y'all? It's your boy Ricky Romance. Your boy Ricky Romance. That's right, it's your boy Ricky Romance. And this is the Ricky Romance. My lighting. Hey, man, y'all producers getting fired, man. I shouldn't be having to fix my light at the last minute. But anyway, yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Ricky Romance. And this is the Ricky Romance No Filter Podcast. And today, we have a very, very special guest by the name of Adrian Marcel. This guy right here. When I tell y'all it's light skin season, y'all, I've been telling y'all it's light skin season for a long time. And this guy just dropped an amazing EP called R&B Season. Incredible. Features with E-40, DJ Drama. I mean, the record he did with Stage Gemini like 10 years ago, 2 a.m. was, you know what I'm saying? So this guy is somebody that you guys need to watch. For real. You know, so, we got Adrian Marcel pulling up to the studio, for an exclusive. And we're very excited, you guys. So stay tuned. He's about to pull up, you guys. We're going to ask really, really intricate question. You know what I mean? We're going to really try to see if we can get to know him a little bit. You know what I'm saying? For all you ladies out there, I see y'all all up in the comments. You know what I'm saying? I see y'all in this guy. That's that. You know what I mean? Hey, fly like that. We got dope music. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what else? Man, wishing a lot of blessings for this guy. And man, I can't wait to talk to you guys. So, we're going to be right back. Stand by, y'all. Adrian Marcel is coming to the stage. Very soon.
Hustle unanimous. Take the soil with him. Everywhere he places cup, she gon' choose him. Like a criminal lineup.
Let's go STPID. We don't need ID. Straight to the VIP. Eyes on you, but the drinks I'm on a mission. Bippin' with no witness. Dippin' with your bitch and 6 friends. Slip and slide, no intermission. Make a quick decision. Watch out before your bitch go missing. Slip and slide.
Told you guys with a very, very special guest. And without further ado, I don't want to keep you guys waiting too much more longer. I'd like to introduce to you guys Mr. Adrian Marcel.
What's happening?
What's up, champ?
What's up with
Hey,
you,
man,
my
it's
boy?
light skin season, Jack.
You know what I'm saying? You feel me? Like
You
this,
know,
you know what I'm talking about?
hey, man, the album is amazing, man. R&B season. I've been actually bumping it, man, for the last couple hours now, man.
Come on. Appreciate that, big
Yeah,
dog.
yeah. I was like, man, I was sleeping. I had to get woke up.
It's
I'm
all
like
good.
going back and forth. I'm like ping pong in between
Yeah,
the Bip City record with E-40,
yeah.
and then I really liked what's the record with the drama
Yeah. Pulling up.
pulling up.
Yeah.
You know,
This
that's my
this
vibe
hitter.
right here. You know what I'm saying? You know, you rolling. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
exactly.
As you see,
Exactly.
you know what I'm
Pulling up
saying?
on a little thing, you feel me?
Yeah, man. Hey, man. It's a pleasure to meet you. Hey, for everybody that's just now tuning in, this is Mr. Adrian Marcel, and I'm gonna let him introduce himself because who else can introduce themselves better?
Man, what's happening? I go by the name of Adrian Marcel, your R&B liaison. And for anybody that's streaming right now that doesn't quite understand what R&B is, that's okay, because by the end of this, we're going to have you hip like a female and caught up like an affair. You know what I'm talking about? We represent the Bay Area, you know what I'm saying? And then more specifically, East Oakland. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
Man, it's crazy, man. What was your journey like, man, from Oakland to becoming a platinum selling artist?
You know, bruh, I had a lot of training, when it came to music, man. Mom and pops saw it early, that it was something that I was into. And when you in Oakland and the Bay Area like that, man, it's a lot of distractions that you can get involved in. It's a lot of things that you can get caught up with. So they really wanted to keep me busy. You know what I'm saying? So knowing that I was into music, how I was, my mother kept me into, as many music programs as she could. I went to Oakland School for the Arts, high school, man, which was probably the best thing that could have happened to me and prepared me for what it is that I actually do. And every degree of that, not just the talent itself and the craft, but the responsibility, the preparation and whatnot. On top of that, going to YMP, a Young Musicians Program. So I was constantly like surrounded by.
Now,
You know what I'm saying? I was constantly surrounded by it, man. That was every summer, all year round, man. Was music. So it's like it kind of would have.
You're a vet now, man.
Yeah. I kind of it would have been a disservice, bro, if I would have did all of that and then what I'm saying, like became a doctor or something like that. Like, you feel me? Like, nothing wrong with it, but if I felt like this was something that was placed in front of me for so long, you know what I mean? There was so many hours that were put into it. So, on top of that, man, fresh out of high school, I was constantly like, if I was in the streets, it was because I was trying to find gigs. I was booking my own shows, you know what I'm saying? As a youngster, like sneaking in the clubs, got cool with all the bouncers in town and everything, man. So they knew who I was. They knew I was coming to really get down. So it was never a problem to be in the places, you know what I'm saying, that I needed to be. I was able to get a deal with Republic Records, through early management on. I moved to Atlanta. I was with the label probably for like 5 years, man. We had some success, man, 2 a.m., 7 days a week. We got the next, I hooked up with Raphael.
And that's what I wanted to ask you. How did the collaboration with Sage and Gemini on 2 a.m.?
Well, we both were on the same label. So, at the time, Sage was signed to Republic 2. It kind of just made sense. It was two Bay Area artists that they had. I hadn't met Sage yet until after the deal. But he was, always cool. We was pretty cool, man. So he hopped on the record, man, and the rest was history, dog. That shit took off, man, quick, like NASCAR.
What impact did excuse me? What impact did the 2 a.m. record? What impact did it have on your career? Like, what impact did it have? What impact did it have on your career?
Man, shit. Honestly, dog, shit. That it went number 4 on the charts. R&B charts, man.
It was surreal, huh?
It was dope because it was kind of like at that time it was an era of a sound, that was going on. You had Chris Brown, Loyal. You had Omarion Post to Be. You had Ty Dolla $ign, Paranoid. You know, I mean, you know, Kid Ink was pretty heavy at that time. So that sound was pretty heavy, man. And it was dope to be a part of the number. You know, to have a record that, man, it's still going crazy, bro. It's people that's low key just finding out about it. It's people that, you know what I'm saying, that's still holding on to it. You know what I mean? So it's really dope that everything worked out, man. Shout out to Pashan who wrote it. Shout out to Chris Kyle, Aunt Franks, man. You know, they popped in on me in Atlanta. I didn't really like the record, to be honest. So, you know, I was kind of avoiding recording it, you know, but they pulled up on me, man, and was like, look, we here. We done came all the way out to Atlanta, so we got to do this. And shit, man, before I knew it, man, the song was taking off, you know, grew legs, was running. We were on tour with Keisha Cole at the time. So, I mean, I remember starting the tour, performing the song. Nobody really knew what it was yet, but they was jamming. And by like the 10th show, bro, we was in cities I'd never been to, and they was singing it word for word. So, you know, it was dope, man. And you know,
so you started to travel. You started to hit the road and tour with.
Oh yeah, that was immediate. Yeah.
So was what? Can you share the inspiration behind your 7 days a week mixtape? Like,
man, honestly,
perform some of that material on the road, or
yeah, at that time we actually had all that before 2 a.m. So that's how we got the deal. We got the deal with Republic because of the music that we had created while we was in the basement. I was in Atlanta for about maybe 6 or 7 months. You know,
like a project. Everybody needs to go dig up in the crates and go listen to that.
Yeah. It was dope, man, because you know that was me and Jane Hancock, Beat Rock, you know, all from the Bay Area, man. We was locked in the basement for about 7 months, man. We didn't do nothing but make music. You know what I'm saying? So it was like really honing in on a sound for that time, and you know, it went well, man. We started off with the record "Waiting" featuring Wale. We had records like "My Life" on there, "Fuck with Me." I mean, it was some dope tracks on there, man. And you know, Ray came in at the end once we were kind of finished with everything, put some touches on there. And man, we walked into Republic, man, and they gave us the deal just, you know, off the strength of the music, man. So that was really dope, you know, the way that kind of like took off, you know. So there was no like, it wasn't like we really had a focus inspiration wise, like of the music we were making. We just knew we were making music to get out the basement, bro, to be honest.
Right.
You feel me? Like we was like, look, we got to make this shit so slap so hard that, you know, when we get up out of here, we ain't got to come back.
Yeah.
You feel me?
What was your who were some of your music influences growing up, and how did they help to shape your career and your sound?
You know, I started listening to music young, man, but I was always an old soul. So a lot of the music that I was introduced to was like Al Green, you know, Sam Cooke, Donny Hathaway, you know, even like Jackie Wilson and Frankie Lyman. Like it was a lot of old school music, you know.
Jackie Wilson, that's my grandfather.
Oh, hey, bruh. Hey, Jackie Wilson's probably one of my favorite artists, man, of all time, dog.
Crazy, bro.
And you know, you know what I'm saying? You know, we got to stick together, dog. But as I got older, though, you know, it was like Maxwell, you know, and I got real into Genuine, you know, and Usher, you know, and that's kind of what like molded my R&B side, the real R&B side of me, man. You know, I was into Donnell Jones and Carl Thomas, Tank, you know, a lot of vocalists. So I always been big on vocals, man, you know, and not just any kind of vocals, but like, you know, real like, you know, belters, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? People that could really go there, you know, really inspired me. So, you know, I kind of took pieces from all of them, and, you know, within the music, you know, it can kind of be heard from piece to piece, you know, like all of these different things. But I think it's dope, man, because it was a variety, man, from old school to the new school, you know, but nonetheless, man, it's just always been R&B that stuck with me, bro. That was always like something I was just drawn to.
What's been the most challenging part of your career?
The most challenging part of my career? I mean, I'd have to say just early on was kind of like the confidence, you know, dealing with the label at the time, you know, you're on the label for so long, you're making music that you like, and you're presenting it, and as you present it, you know, they may not fuck with it, or they may feel like, you know, this is not enough, this ain't good enough, we need something like this, you know. So for a time being, going through that for like 4 or 5 years, it did take me a little bit to kind of wash that out of my system, you know what I mean, and catch the confidence back that, you know, what I do is what it is, you know what I'm saying, is good enough, and it's not so much putting it in those people's hands and, you know, letting that be the end all be all, you know. Holding on to the belief in yourself when you're going through things like that, man. That was a struggle for me early on. I can't say that it's a struggle now, you know, because at this point I've been independent so long. I've been able to build my fan base back up. I've been able to, you know, create a whole new catalog of music that I believe in, that I'm proud of, you know what I'm saying, that I think is very fitting for me. And I had to get out of the fact of making music for an audience rather than making music for myself.
Let me cut you off right there. Speaking of your music, can you describe the creative process when you're in the studio making music? Like, what's the process? Like, what's the first thing you do when you go in the studio?
First thing usually me and my team are doing, bruh, is number one, clowning, bruh. Like, it's not so much of a job, you know, when we in the studio, man. It's home, you know. It's kind of like you getting back to the crib, man, and you get to settle in, you know what I'm saying? So it's really about just locking in, man, you know, being human beings first and foremost, you know. It's a lot of jokes, it's a lot of clowning, but once we get into it, man, it usually starts with a track. You know, we go through different beats and things, you know, that Sonny B has worked on or that we've been playing with, and you know, we just kind of let the vibe take us, man. Sometimes it could be something hyphy, it could be something that's real turned up, you know, or it could be something that's just on some smooth, sexy shit, you know. But whatever it is,
how do you stay authentic when you storytelling to all your listeners, to your fans? Like,
oh, it's easy, bro. I don't think about them when I'm making music. Yeah, like it's a whole different process. Like I said, it's just us like listening to the music. You know, we get to talking about, you know, I mean, we just get to having conversations, man, and it's just something that kind of flows out. You know, it might be a conversation we've had on the way to the studio, might be something that we talking about right then and there. But, you know, whatever it is, we kind of figure out what that track is saying. Like, that track might be saying like, oh man, I feel like I'm mobbing right now. Like, I'm in the car, man. You feel me? Where we headed? Shit, I don't know. Headed to a chick house, man. I'm finna go swoop her up. You know what I'm saying? Or I'm finna pull up on her. You know what I mean? And then at that point, it just starts to kind of flow out. So it's not so much about the audience and what I feel they want to hear. It's really about like what's coming to us and what's natural. You know what I'm saying? And
what's your inspiration behind What's your inspiration behind R&B Season, and how does it differ from your previous work?
Man, inspiration behind R&B Season, bro, is really an ode to the Bay, man. It's just like really putting on for the Bay Area for the way we R&B. You know, I feel like a lot of places have their way of R&B, and you know, Atlanta has their own sound, New York has their own sound, LA, you know, Chicago. Everybody has their sound. When they hear it, it's like, man, that's a Chicago artist, or that's a LA artist, or LA music. You know what I'm saying?
To be honest, you on something.
You know what I'm saying? The Bay Area, for me, it's like, this is the sound of how we R&B. When you from the Bay, man, if you've been out to the Bay, man, you know, we talk different, we love different, we move different. You know what I'm saying? Like our lingos and everything like that, our bounces are little, you know what I'm saying? Our bounce is its own thing. So I feel like it wasn't being represented enough from the male perspective of what that sound was. Like, I feel like we were getting caught up in doing a sound that was coming from other places like LA or Chicago or Atlanta. And for me, it's like, you know, me and Sonny B, who work on all this music together, it was like, man, we need to make sure we stamping our own sound. And that's really where the whole title come from, R&B. Because it's like, it's not just R&B. It's, you know, you have your traditional R&B sound, but the beats is hyphy.
I ain't never heard a twist on it like that.
You feel me? Like, the beats is hyphy.
Never heard it being dubbed like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, like, you feel me? Like, you had the Jay Valentines that were, you know, presenting it back in the day, but it was it was always little spurts of it, like a song, because again, this is the Bay Area sound technically, you know what I'm saying? But we weren't owning it enough. So me and SB was like, nah, we got to step in. And it's not just about one or two songs, man. This is about a whole new catalog that's driven by this sound, that's driven by this formula and this format. You feel me? So it really was about putting on for the Bay Area, dog.
It seems to be working, man. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? You got Unc to come out.
Oh yeah.
You know, obviously, it was a process building all the way up to that.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh hell yeah.
He's the ambassador. He's the GOAT. He's the mayor. He's so many things to the Bay. You know what I mean?
For sure.
So that was just like, you know, you at the top of your game right
man.
now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh.
So, you know, now what? You know what I'm saying? Like I, you know, I'm so excited for you, man.
Appreciate that.
You know, to see your journey. You know, it takes a while to hone your craft, man.
Yeah.
And just get into a space to where you have full control of every aspect of it.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, and that's when you know you're really moving. And when I watched the video, man, I just like, man, I just feel the energy. I was like, man, they just really having a good time. They really having fun.
Yeah.
You know, R&B is in full effect. You know what I'm saying? R&B.
Yeah, exactly. Hello.
R&B season. You know what I'm saying? You know, man, bro, that album is amazing. That's an amazing body of work.
Let's go. Appreciate that.
How do you approach collaborations with other artists and producers?
You know, more recently, like, you know, it's simple, bro. You know, when it comes to as far as like the way we working out here, man, you know, our biggest thing is how we can bring the R&B sound everywhere we go. You know what I mean? So it's like before it was trying to fit into everybody else's thing and what they doing, you know what I mean? But as we've gone with this sound, bro, and you know, when you're honing and coining a genre, bro, you know, you have to represent it. So
y'all make it sound and seem so easy.
Nah, it's not. I mean, at this point, I ain't gonna lie.
It's just a sauce, like from the Bay, you know what I'm saying? It's just a sauce, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, at this point, it's natural because you feel me. It's in our flesh and on our chest. You feel me? So it's like it's in us. So you know, but again, when I'm working with people, it's really about I'm always thinking about how I can bring them into the R&B sound. You know, so when you're working with like a DJ drama who's not from the Bay but understands the Bay, I don't want to just take him a record that I feel he's used to being on. I want to bring him something that's like, damn, I ain't never heard drama on a record like this. You know what I'm saying? Or I ain't never heard this artist on a record like that. You know what I mean? And because I come from the labels where you working on music and then because you didn't produce the whole thing, they can take it or they can run with it or whatever. Now it's kind of like a little more closer to the chest with us, man. It's like if we working, man, it's got to be a full collaboration. You know, we got to touch the beats. We got to touch the, you know, the writing. You know, I don't really.
How does it feel to own your own masters?
Oh man, come on, man. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing in any ownership. You know what I'm saying? To have any type of ownership over something that you create and that you put your all into, I think that's the ultimate high. That's the ultimate, you know, level of success outside of anything financial. You know what I mean? It's really about like, man, this is something I created. These are my children. You know what I'm saying? Like, can't nobody just come up and just take these and run with these and, you know what I mean, capitalize on this without my approval. You feel me? So that's really
what's the most memorable moment of your career?
Most memorable moment of my career would probably have to be man, getting dropped from the label. Getting dropped from the label, bro, that was probably the best thing that ever happened to me, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? How most people kind of like would get depressed and feel down about it, man. I felt free, dog. Like I felt like I knew it was the beginning of something. You know what I mean? Like to me, it was almost like I graduated from college. You know what I mean? It was like, oh, I'm good. This was graduation.
No restrictions.
Yeah, no, I'm good. Like because so many artists get tied up, put on a shelf, bail over their head. You feel me? They was like, look, you know what I'm saying? We don't really know what to do, but we know you talented. We know you got potential. You always been cool. So shit, we just gonna let you walk. I'm like, cool, great. You know what I'm saying? So now I can start putting all my plan in motion to figure out how I really figured out the independent game, you know what I'm saying? And how to really get here today. So it's been a journey, but I feel like it was the start of it. My career really started when I got dropped.
How do you prepare for your live performances, like your stadium performances, the arenas, and your big shows? How do you prepare?
I probably don't.
Your shows is,
yeah, I probably don't prepare as much as I should, but I think it's because, man, like performing has always been something that was like my favorite part of this craft. You know what I mean? But I'm always so natural, bro. I'm natural like an afro.
It's either in you.
Yeah, it's like it's kind of like I can prepare. Like I can make sure I know what music we doing. We can rehearse with the band to make sure they got it down and all of that. But
you had a couple little steps and stuff. I was, what I'm saying.
Yeah, but see, all of that comes from like while I'm on stage. You feel me? Like it's happening in real time for me, just like it is for them. You know what I mean? It's never something that I can fully rehearse, because when I get on stage, it's just gonna come out. Somebody gonna do something. I'm gonna look at somebody, or the crowd's gonna give me something to feel, or the band. You know what I mean? It's like it's no way for me to tell. And I'm sure as time goes on, I'll put more into the performances. But right now, it's always been about just the ultimate connection with the audience. So it's just as raw for me as it is for them,
What advice would you give to young artists that's at the age when you first started?